Hello guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So we are in the Spring Boot application, which is a normal Spring Boot application. Here I have a controller, I have a model classes and the repo and the service. Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about the command line runner interface. Okay, so this interface will allows us to execute a piece of code once only when the spring is started. Okay, so spring context is started like this. Okay, so I have this particular class here. This is a main class. I'm going to implement just command line runner. Okay, command line runner. Okay, this will have a method called run method. Okay, this run method we need to override with our logic. So what is the advantage of this run method? It simply execute when the Spring context loaded for the first time. Okay, so with the help of this run method, if you have some configurations or some connectors, you can use that. Okay, so basically here I'll take an example. As I said, I have a student repo and I have the student entity. Okay, this student entity I'm planning to insert some data when the application is started. Why? Because I'm using the H2 database here. H2 database I'm using is a in-memory database. So each time the application runs, this H2 database will remove all the data and it will create a new instance because it is a in-memory by nature, very lightweight database. Okay, so for that purpose, what I will do is each time application runs, I will once it started running, I will insert one piece of data or two records of data into the student table so that I can use it for some other purposes. Okay, so for that purpose, let me introduce private final student repo. Okay, this is a student repo. Okay, also I can use something like this, not a big deal, like auto-wide. Also I will use auto-wide student repo. You can use anyway, but Spring 3 does not recommend use auto-wide like this. Instead it will recommend using via creation of the objects. Okay, so private final here student repo. Okay, and it is saying something. You need to add the constructor. So since I already have the Lombard, I simply use the rx constructor. So the object will get created here. Okay, and here I have the run method. Here my application will start and runs this, right? So in order to check the logs, I will add slf4j. This is also coming from Lombok. If you see Lombok, so adding the project Lombok library is a very good method, guys. So just go to the pom.xml. You could see here project Lombok. If you wanted to add, simply go to the Maven repository and type Lombok. It will gives you. This is a very useful library. Okay, project Lombok. You just need to select the latest version and copy paste it into your application. Okay, pom.xml. Then you have added, let's imagine in that way. Okay, most applications will have Lombok. Okay, so here I have the student entity which I need to insert into the table, right? So I have student is equal to new student here, and for this student, let's set the name. Let's set it as Ramu, and let's set address as Hyderabad, and student dot set hobby as, let's say, like cricket, and I need to save this repo. That's it. Save student. Okay, once it got saved, simply use log here for our reference purposes. Okay, student saved. That's it. Okay. So this is a small example I am doing here also. Let's add some log.info started student entity saving. Okay, so this is a small example. Let's run our application and see what is going to happen. So I have started the application. Do I need any imports, special imports for command line runner? No. You have your Spring Boot normal starter web and starter test, right? So from starter web itself, it will come. Okay. Now you could see here application is started running at port number 9011, I believe, because that's what I said, 9011. Okay, now if you see here, once the application context is prepared, the application context is prepared, it is started executing our log which is presented here, and it is saved the data. Okay, that means our record should be available in H2 console. Let's go and refresh it, and this is my H2 console. So if I run it now, you could see we have added that record. You can also add one more record, not a big deal. Everything is almost same. So simply add one more record, like Ban branch, okay, from Pune with the help of the table tennis. You can simply add this as well, not a big deal. Okay, so this is how we can use the command line command line runner interface, guys. Any piece of code you wanted to execute once, uh, so you can implement this method, and inside the run method this will get executed once the Spring context is loaded. Okay, so let's wait for another second here. uh, Wait for another second itself, that should be sufficient. Now you could see it got executed. Let me refresh it. You could see two records came, right? Yeah, that's all about this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's me, Karthik.